The moment Hollywood figures out that they can sell air and that people will buy it anyway is the moment the world changed forever. So here's what happened. At some point, there's some kind of intern, let's call him John. He needs to climb the corporate ladder. He needs to impress the overlords at Hollywood. And so John says, guys, I have a great idea. We have been selling 1080 by 720, but I believe that we have to sell the same movie at a better resolution, HD for example, a better resolution. Now, the corporate executives are laughing John out of the room. They think this is nuts. What are you talking about? People have already seen the movie. They already bought the movie. You're telling us that we have to sell the same movie to the same people. Who the fuck will ever buy this? This doesn't make any sense, John. A stupid idea. And by the way, John, don't you think that our plan isn't already low effort enough? We are literally making the same movie and just put different actors in and a different plot line, and then we sell that over and over again. What the fuck is your idea? Okay, anyway, at this moment, it's supposed to be over. This should have been it, but John was persistent. John knew that there was something about his idea. And so in the early 2000s, Hollywood tried it out. They started selling some of the same movies, but this time in HD quality, a higher quality. The same movie, higher quality. And you know what happened? Everybody bought the movie again. Literally all of those peasants were buying the same stuff they already had. Again, the executives went nuts. What is this source of magic that is befallen upon us? This is insane. They are buying the same stuff. Great, let's do more of this. And so what happened? Well, in 2004, they invented the director's cut. And in 2006, they invented the Blu-ray. And then in 2016, they invented 4K resolution. And then in 2026, they invented AI enhanced. The same movie. Nothing changed between 2006 and 2026 except for the fact that they now sold it 4 times more. Now this in and of itself would already be enough for me to stop watching these Hollywood movies. But there is more. Shit became much worse than this. Other companies get inspired by what they see at Hollywood. They think by themselves, what the hell? These people are selling the same movie over and over and over again. This is insane. We want that stuff. We want some of that magic. And so Apple is looking at what is happening and they think by themselves, well, if they can sell the same movie, perhaps we, instead of inventing all of these products and an iPhone and some kind of iPod stuff, perhaps we can sell the same thing over and over again as well. Perhaps we can just take the phone that we already have and sell it again to the peasants. Perhaps they will buy it. So here's what they do. They create the iPhone 7 and then they change it slightly and then call it the iPhone 8 and sell that to the people. They call it the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 9 and the iPhone 10. It's all the same phone. Nothing changed. One more lens on the back of the phone doesn't mean anything, okay? What happens? Everybody starts buying that stuff massively. All of the people that already bought the iPhone 7, they now buy the iPhone 8. They now buy the iPhone 8. This is nuts. Now, technically speaking, there will be some kind of photographer that is watching this and that will, in the comment section, explain to you how the iPhone 7 had 1464 megapixel cameras and the iPhone 8 had 2144 megapixel cameras, and so therefore it's slightly better, Dries. These photographers will even go as far as to explain you why it is slightly better. But here's the thing, none of that matters. The difference between 2000, whatever number I named, the difference between 16 megapixels and 14 megapixels is nothing. It's barely anything. It doesn't matter. It's not going to turn you into a photographer. It just isn't. And lo and behold, Apple found something that worked. You don't have to invent a new product. Just sell the same product over and over and over again. And they've been doing that for 15 years. They have been doing that for 15 years. It's impossible. Now, around that time, and look, I'm not a historian. I don't know the exact timelines here, okay? But around that time, there is software companies look at this whole phenomenon and they think by themselves, well, this is all great, but these companies are still making products. They still have to make a CD or DVD or HD or whatever. They still have to make a phone. What if we erase that altogether? What if we make a product once and then, or make a software, something that's not even real, and then sell that over and over again with a subscription model where they have to, instead of buying it once, they have to pay us on a monthly basis, as if this software is some kind of real estate that they have to live in or some shit. And so they do that. It works tremendously. Everybody's buying that stuff. I'm buying that stuff. I pay. Here's the thing. So I pay €60 or $60 or something to, I'm constantly speaking to, I'm paying €60, $60 or something to Adobe for Photoshop and Premiere Pro to make these. I mean, this video is not even edited. This is a non-edited video. I don't need Premiere Pro. Anyway, I pay $60 or something for that, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know the conversion to dollars, but let's say it's $60 a month. So I've been using this for 5 years. I've paid $3,600 for that software in total. I should own a portion of the company by now. This is nuts that you can pay $3,000. Why is it nuts? Dries, aren't they doing all of these changes over time? Aren't they paying developers to change the software and make it so much better so that you can use this amazing software? Well, I talk with these software developers. I'm in the art space. They tell me that they barely change anything. They tell me that on a yearly basis, there might be 0.5% of the software that changes at best. They add one thing that's super easy to code, and that's it. Nothing changes. They don't do anything. So requiring a monthly subscription for that is absolutely horrendous. It's insane. It makes no sense. But that is what's happening. That is how companies are thinking. That is what is happening in the world as we speak. What does all of this mean for creative individuals like yourself, human beings, not robots, human beings? What does all of this mean? Well, on one hand, we have these Hollywood companies. They don't care. They don't care about us. They don't care about their employees. We know that they want the least amount of effort for the most amount of profit. On the other hand, AI is coming. We also know that AI is changing the landscape. Sora came out. Imagery that moves and plays as if it's shot by a real camera with a real human being behind the camera. It's undistinguishable from reality. And it's free and it's instant. It instantly makes those things. And so one of the questions becomes for creative individuals, for people, will these Hollywood companies use people or will they use AI? The same companies that rather sell a movie 4 times, the same movie 4 times, than make a new movie, what will they do? You tell me. It's very hard to predict the future. It's impossible to predict the future, but we can look at the past and see what happened in the past. Because here's the thing. Human beings don't change. Psychology doesn't change. The psychology of these executives stays the same. And so in the future, they will behave the exact same way they behaved in the past. And so let's take a look at the past. If you look at the car companies of the 60s, you see cars in all shapes and formats, all colors, variety all over the place. And the moment these car companies figure out the process of cars, they figure it out. What happens? The same cars. Cars became the same. Today we have the exact same cars. The only car that's slightly different from all the other cars is Elon Musk's tank. I don't know what the name is of that car, but that car, you know, like that beast of a car. Sure. That's the only car that looks different. All the other cars look the same. And so what's going to happen once AI figures out the process of creativity? The same thing as with those cars. Variety will go away. What does Hollywood hate? What do the executives at Hollywood hate? They hate human beings. Human beings are errors for them. Human beings are a liability. Human beings need to be paid. Human beings complain that their child was sick and they couldn't come to work, and so that's where there was a delay and all of that stuff. I mean, human beings are a pain in the ass. Human beings will promise you to edit a video on Monday, and then 2 weeks later, no video has been edited. Trust me, human beings are a pain in the ass. And so what will happen when AI figures out the process of creativity? Well, companies will see the ability to erase human error with AI. and they will use that. And what does it mean, erasing human error? Well, human error is nothing more than creativity itself. It's nothing more than variety. What's human error? Human error is standing in your art studio and then accidentally pushing over a paint can that then falls over the canvas, over the floor in fractal patterns, and before you know it, you have the dripping painting technique of Jackson Pollock. This is literally how Jackson Pollock invented his painting medium. And so what is human error? Human error is randomness that breeds, generates creativity. We will obviously still have movies, but those movies will be less creative, less in variety, less human. And so what does all of this mean for you as a creative individual, an individual that wants to put their creativity out there, that wants to find some kind of freedom doing what you love? Well, artists think that today is saturated, that art is the most saturated place on the planet. The reality is that this is nothing yet. AI is coming. AI will flood the art world like nothing has ever flooded before. This is nothing yet. This is peanuts in terms of how saturated it will become. And so this is your last chance. This is the moment where you fight. This is the moment where you stand up in the trenches, in the avant-garde. This is the most avant-garde moment for artists in the history of humanity. We've been talking about avant-garde, those artists at the front line pushing the boundaries forward. This was all child play compared to what is about to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. This is the last chance you have. Now, don't get me wrong, 15 years from now, there will be artists that will be selling for millions of dollars. But they will not be born anymore. They will not be created anymore. Those artists 15 years from now, they will have been created today. In the front lines today, when AI hits, and AI is better at creativity, creativity will not go away. We've been doing creativity for thousands, tens of thousands of years. You can go back cave paintings that were made 60,000 years ago where creativity happened. Creativity will not go away. But your ability to become a creative in a massively saturated marketplace, 100 times as saturated as today, will fundamentally change. This is your last chance. You have to build your human brand so that you can stand out. And so then the question becomes, well, how are you going to build that human brand? Well, my free PDF outlining all of the secrets of virality most certainly will help. The same secrets that got me millions of views on some of my videos, freely available. What more can I do? I mean, it's as simple as that, freely available. And for those who are more serious about it, I've also created the artist formula where I give you my exact blueprint, a system that will teach you everything you need to know to build a human brand before it's too late. If you are interested, link is of course in the description. Let's go back to the main question. Why do I stop watching this whole Hollywood movie bullshit in the world right now? Because I have to start making movies myself. I have to go on YouTube and upload my own videos, just like you have to upload your own videos. I've explained why in a video called You Should Be a YouTuber, Artist or Creative. This one over here, it's not published yet. Click on it when it is. That said, get the hell out of here.